Am I audible? Can you see the screen? Good afternoon, everyone. Please respond. Yes, everyone, please respond. Am I audible? Can you see the screen? Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, good afternoon. Today we have a very important class. Good afternoon. Ajiro class to बहुत important अच्छी. Right? So mostly UPSC, our जो civil service examination जो हुए conducted by the national examination agencies, right? Sethere gote mandatory paper अच्छी amaro mains paper, right? The last class on Monday we read about essay writing, केमती essay लिखिबार अच्छी, केमती time management करियार अच्छी, right? We learned about that. Aji we will be learning about thesis writing and the relevance of it. UPSC re thesis writing is a compulsory thing, right? जो मैंने prepare करूँ for civil service in future as well, right? The Ajiro class is very important. Getting my point? The Ajiro class is very important. Understood? So, समझते लिखो topic of today. Thesis writing and comprehension practice. And comprehension practice. So first of all, I'm going to what is a thesis, right? Thesis is a summary, right? Got a long passage, तुमको दिया जाए वो in essay writing, तुमको got a topic दिया जाए वो, let's just say India. This is your topic. You have to write 300 words on this, right? But thesis रे, तुमको got a long passage दिया जाए वो, let's just say of 300 words. And your job is to summary, right? To make a summary of it, to summarize the entire passage, right? So, जो 300 words रो गोटे passage थिबो ताकू तुमको within 4-5 lines summarize करिवार अछि. That is the task, right? That is the task. 2021-22 रे compulsory आसीथिला, right? Even last year रे भी thesis writing is a mandatory practice in all UPSC examinations. जति भी civil services तमे prepare करिवो future रे, this is a compulsory paper. Mains रे आसीबो, right? Yes, good afternoon everyone. Right? So Ajiro class is very important. Mu dhire dhire level taku on a higher side nochi, right? So thesis is basically a gist of main theme of the passage. जो passage हमको दिया जाए वो तारो essential points, main ideas, right? तारो overview को summarize करी present करिया को thesis कहते, right? It should be lucid, succinct, and detailed, right? तारो जति की भी main idea थी वो, suppose the main idea of the passage, मु कही भी detail रे what is that, plus the sub ideas of the passage. सबू को in a clear manner हमको present करियर अछि. That is all, right? गोटे 300 words रो passage दिया जाए तो ताकू within 40 to 50 words रे summarize करी की दबार अछि. That is the whole thing. 40 to 50 words रे summarize करी की दबार अछि. right? In a very diligent manner, diligent narration, prati details tadre rahiba katha, right? Diligent mane carefully tame sabu jinsa taku analyze karichibo passage ku, tar details re tar jetiki jinsa achi taku represent karibar achi within 40 to 50 words. That's it, right? Eta hela amo kamo, right? Mains paper re tamar compulsory hela precis writing. जो मैंने सिविल सर्विसेज ପାଇଁ prepare करछो आईएएस ओएस हमारा तुम्हारा ड्रीम अछि, this is the compulsory practice, right? Precis is different from paraphrasing. गोटे paraphrasing अछि, right? Paraphrasing is basically तुमको जो passage दिया जायछि तार पूरा detail manner रे तुमको ताको represent करियार अछि कि describe करियार अछि. This should be as big as the passage जो ताटू बेसी भी परियो तुमको detail manner ताको कहिबार अछि. But precis रे ताकू तमे summarize करिवो बा गोटे short form रे लिखिवो, right? ताकू छोटो narrative रे present करिवार अछि. That is the difference, right? तो सदाळे केबे भी confuse होबोनी paraphrasing and precis. जदि precis पचाछि, you have to just summarize in a short manner, 40 to 50 words max. जेते कम word रे ताकू तमे summarize करि परिबो, that is called precis. Paraphrasing is briefly ताकू बहुत बड़ा रूपरे describe करिकी कहबाकू paraphrasing कहंते. तो केबे भी confuse होबनी between the two. Exam रे जदि आसिला तो precis paraphrasing भितर तमे differentiate करिया दरकार, otherwise भूल हेजिबो, right? जदि briefly describe करियार अछि, that is paraphrasing. जदि छोटो रूपरे ताकू summarize करियार अछि, that is precis. Understood? All clear? Now precis writing रे हमको गोटे long passage दिया है, तो for example तुम गोटे देखो छी what is the precis. This is the precis. गोटे UPSC level लो precis मु देखि छी, right? तो तमते देखते हो, this is a long passage about a stamp, right? This is a passage. तुमको दिया जाय छी UPSC रे, this is the passage. याकू summarize करिकी within 30 to 40 words रे present करिवार अछि, right? याकू summarize करिकी 30 to 40 words रे तुमको summarize करिवार अछि. That is the whole challenge, right? This is called precis writing. Understood? Any question on this? Yeah, हमको करिवार अछि. First of all, आजिर जो टास्क अछि ता पई केते बडा इंपोर्टेंट जिंसो. Now reading. तो जो माने भी यूपीएससी बा आईएएस ओएस लेवल एग्जामिनेशन प्रिपेयर करूछो ता पे रीडिंग रो हैबिट इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट, राइट? जो माने कैट भी प्रिपेयर करूछो बा जो माने कॉम्पिटिटिव जॉब रिलेटेड एग्जामिनेशन पे प्रिपेयर करूछो, रीडिंग इज अ मस्ट हैबिट. बिकॉज हमको 3 आवर्स रे या तो आरसी करिवार अछि, या तो ऐसे लिखिवार अछि, या तो प्रेसिस राइटिंग ऊपरे फोकस करियार अछि. तो ता पे बहुत रीडिंग रो हैबिट दरकार. सो यू हैव टू एटलीस्ट रीड फॉर 1 to 2 hours non-stop every day, right? जेते हमें रीड करिबा सेते हमर वेग आइडियाज जनरेट हबा कम हबो. हमें बहुत क्लैरिटी सहित रीड करि परिबा, हमको मने रखिबा रे इजी हबो, राइट? वी विल बी डिलिजेंट, मतलब केयरफुली हमें पढ़ी परिबा. हमर वेग आइडियाज माने जोटा अनरिलेटेड आइडियाज सेडा आसिबोनी, and will be precise, right? So that is why important value is your value of reading. जते तमरो रीडिंग रो वैल्यू अछि, it does not matter कि गोटे तमे प्लेसेस को 10 minutes पे पढुछो or 30 minutes पे पढुछो. How much value that has in generating less vague ideas, सेटा हला तमरो वैल्यू ऑफ रीडिंग. तमे थरे पढी कि गोटे जिंस को क्लियरली डिस्क्राइब करि परिबो, that is the value of your reading, right? तो तापे डेली प्रैक्टिस करियो पड़ियो हमको, right? We have to practice daily reading of 1 hour to 2 hour. Measure your reading speed. तमर रीडिंग स्पीड तमे मेजर करि परिबो, तार भी गोटे ड्रिल अछि, मु कहिबी केमति करा जाय. सो कोन पढि परिबा हम? न्यूज़पेपर्स, मैगजीन्स, books, right? These are all things we can read, right? जेहेतु इट्स अ टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम मैनेजमेंट मेंस पेपर हमर जेतिकी भी अछि, राइट? जेतिकी भी मेंस पेपर अछि यूपीएससी बा ओपीएससी हे जाओ स्टेट लेवल, इट इज अ टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम मैनेजमेंट. इट इज अ टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम मैनेजमेंट. तो तुमको वंस पढ़िबार अछि गोटे जदी पैसेज दिया जाय छी, लॉन्ग पैराग्राफ दिया जाय छी, तमे थरे ही ताको पढ़ि परियो बिकॉज़ यू हैव अ लॉन्ग पेपर. सो यू हैव वन टाइम टू रीड इट. हमको वन टाइम भितरे ही जेतिकी वेग आइडियाज अछि एलिमिनेट करियार अछि, हमर वैल्यू ऑफ रीडिंग बढ़ेबार अछि, because we have only one time to read the entire passage and summarize. That's why it is tough, right? तो हमको diligent grasp करिवा को पड़िबो. थरे पढ़ी की पूरा जिंसटा को मने रखिया को पड़िबो, नोट डाउन करिया को पड़िबो, ताकू समराइज करिया को पड़िबो. It is a drill of maximum 12 minutes. इटा पूरा 12 minutes भितर सारिले ही हमें पूरा मेंस पेपर को सॉल्व करि परिबा. Understood? तो सेति क्लैरिटी और कंसंट्रेशन और अटेंशन दरकार, नॉले हबो नहीं, राइट? ऑलवेज रिमेंबर यूपीएससी आईएएस हे जाओ, ओएस हे जाओ, राइट? या आईपीएस हे जाओ, ओपीएस हे जाओ, these are all leadership positions. These are all leadership positions, right? तो तापे हमारो क्लैरिटी थिबा कथा इन थॉट प्रोसेस, हमारो कंसंट्रेशन थिबा कथा इन आवर जॉब, हमार अटेंशन थिबा दरकार इन माइन्यूट डिटेल्स. नॉले लीडरशिप कामोडा में करि परिवानी, right? So that is why it is a test that is mandatory in the mains paper. That is why it is a test which is mandatory in the mains paper. Now, second most important factor है हमार writing, right? बहुत लोग भागवती हमें easily लिखी दबा, but it is not that easy, right? इटा जेबे भी देखिबो, why there is a compulsory essay paper, why there is a compulsory thesis paper, right? Because they are judging your clarity, right? तमे clearly तम thought process को express करि पारछो कि नहीं. जेहेतु तमे गोटे लीड करिवो organization that is of a government which is related to the public, also related to the nation, तमरो सेतिकी क्लैरिटी थिबा दरकार एक्सप्रेशन रे. तमे क्लियरली निज थॉट्स को एक्सप्रेस करि परिबा दरकार. दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट फैक्टर. दैट इज व्हाई दीस क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. आ केते कंसाइजली तमे करि पारछो, राइट? केते इफेक्टिवली तमे करि पारछो. These are three important factors they are judging you based on, right? जदि तमर लीडरशिप क्वालिटी को से माने टेस्ट करूछंती, तमे केते क्लियरली कहि पारछो, केते ब्रीफली कहि पारछो, केते इफेक्टिवली कहि पारछो, काहे कि तुमको लीड करिवार अछि नेशन को, सेटा से माने टेस्ट करूछंती, राइट? सो सेति लागि मेंस पेपर इज द टफेस्ट पेपर इन द एंटायर कंट्री. यूपीएससी रो मेंस पेपर is the toughest paper. Sabuta difficult paper, right? Because clarity, preciseness, our effective way of expression, that too in 3 hours. Sabu 3 घंटा भितर सारिबार अछि. Getting my point? खाली express करी कि लंबा viewpoints रखिबा अपेक्षा, we have to be precise in fixed number of words. देखो मु जते भी sentences कहि छी, limited words. Limited words. Always remember, right? The mains paper is a long paper, right? It's a long paper. तो तम words उडा जते limited होबो, आ जते तमे precisely answer clearly लिखि परिबो, सेते तम marks अधिका मिलिबो. So always remember to choose your words carefully, right? Always remember to choose your words carefully. ताकू सेतिकी practice effectiveness of clarity सहित लिखिबो, तो तमरो means paper है, तमरो marks would be higher, right? Mostly यहाँ पर बहुत कम classes हुए, बहुत कम tutoring हुए, right? but I feel कि तुम मन को empower करिया दरकार because in future समस्ते जहाँ भी हेले papers मन करे apply करिवो, right? Now जेमती मु कहली तमरो full clarity रहिबा दरकार तो रीडिंग कला बेले किछि भी जिंस तमे मैगजीन और न्यूज़पेपर रे रीड करूछो द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट फैक्टर इज द सब्जेक्ट, राइट? तो तुमको जो लॉन्ग पैसेज दिया जाय छी 300 वर्ड्स रो, so what is the subject about? Is it about politics? Is it about cricket? Is it about pollution? What is the main subject, right? So taku first of all tame kadibu, right? You always find out what is the main subject. That is the main idea of the entire passage. Based on that, tame entire thesis ro summarization karibo, right? Main idea सहित तमर सब आइडियाज भी थिबो ताकू रिलेट करिकि जो सेकेंडरी आइडिया था मेन आइडिया सदाले गोटे थाए द मेन आइडिया इज ऑलवेज वन तापर जति के भी रिलेटेड आइडियाज थाए ताकू सब आइडियाज कहंती, राइट? तो मेक अ स्मॉल नोट एज यू रीड व्हाट इज द मेन आइडिया एंड व्हाट आर द सब आइडियाज. तो मैं रीड करिया टाइम रे सदाले मने रखिथिबो मेन आइडिया लिखियार अछि और जति के सब की आइडियाज अछि ताकू साइड करके लिखिबार अछि, राइट? तीनटा जिंस सदाले मने रखियो प्रेसिस रे जदि गोटे पैसेज तुमको 300 वर्ड्स रो दिया जाय छी, राइट? जदि गोटे पैसेज ऑफ 300 वर्ड्स तुमको दिया जाय छी द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट फैक्टर इज टोन. इज इट इन अ पॉजिटिव टोन? ऑथर पॉजिटिव अछंती, नेगेटिव अछंती, क्रिटिकल अछंती बा अप्रिशिएट करछंती ता तमे जानि परिबा दरकार, राइट? जदि हमर टोन ता भूल हे गला, सपोज द ऑथर इज पॉजिटिव आ तमे समरी करछो नेगेटिव, तो तम मार्क्स पूरा 0 हे जु, राइट? जदि ऑथर ताकू क्रिटिसाइज करछंती तमे कॉम्प्लीमेंट दोछो तम मार्क्स 0 हे जु, राइट? इट डज नॉट मैटर कि तमे सेठी फील कोन करूछो, तुमको जो पैसेज दिया जाय छी तार समरी एटा, राइट? तो तार डिटेल्स तुमको काढिबार अछि तो टोन हैज टू बी करेक्ट. जो ऑथर रो टोन अछि कहबार ता हैज टू बी करेक्ट, राइट? ऑलवेज रिमेंबर मते जस्ट फ्रेंड जे आसीथिले से कहउथले कि तांकर 35 मार्क्स कमी गला, राइट? बिकॉज ही मिस्ड द टाइटल ऑफ द समराइजेशन. तो तम टाइटल रहबा दरकार. At the starting of the summary you should have a title, right? 2021 रो कथा से जस्ट शेयर कले तांकरो मेंस पेपर रे he missed 35 marks because he did not have a title to the summary, right? So starting रे तम टाइटल दवा रखिबा दरकार. That is the main idea of the passage. Main idea ऊपर ही तम टाइटल हुए, right? Getting my point? So always remember tone of the passage, title of the passage, and the theme of the passage, right? Title गोटे theme अच्छी बा multiple theme अच्छी तो तमे से हिसाब रे समराइजेशन करिवो, right? Suppose गोटे theme रे से दिया आइछि about geopolitics. Second is talking about friendship of India with neighboring countries, right? तो different theme ऊपर तम different summarization 1 2 3 4 करिके तमे passage रे लिखि पारिबो, right? But गोटे प्रेसिस रे तम टोन टाइटल और थीम को तमे मेजर करिबा इज मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट. ये तीनटा जिंस तमे स्किप करि परिबनी, right? The entire drill has to be done in a manner 12 minutes भितरे एती जिंस तुमको करिबार अछि. That is why it is the most difficult paper in all job related examination. आमे रीड कर दिलु, मेन आइडिया जानि देलु, सब आइडियाज भी जानि देलु, राइट? The second most important factor is writing. हमको summarize करिवार अछि. Right? हमको summarize करिवार अछि. So summarization रे, so the most important factor, limited words. जदि passage is about 300 words, हमको देइछंती maximum 40 to 50 words भितरे हमको तारा summary लिखिवार अछि. That is the most important factor. Right? So you have limited words. जदि तुमको लिमिटेड वर्ड रे पेपर सबमिट करियार अछि तो तमे रफ ड्राफ्ट गोटे बनेबो, राइट, जोतरे मेन आइडिया थिबो. रफ ड्राफ्ट गोटे साइड रे तुम रफ पेपर जो थाए सेतरे बने परिबो. सेतरे तुमर मेन आइडिया थिबा दरकार, डिटेल ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट थिबा दरकार, टाइटल सदाळे लिखिबो, मेन आइडिया कोन अछि ता विषय लिखिबो, सब आइडियाज जो अछि ता विषय लिखिबो, राइट. जो टोन रे ऑथर लिखिचंती पैसेज को से टोन रे लिखिबार अछि. आउ थीम सबु जोटा मु सब आइडियाज कहूची से हिसाब रे तुमको समरी रे भी रिप्रेजेंट करियार अछि. राइट. नाउ सबुटो इंपोर्टेंट फैक्टर, राइट, ओरिजिनल पैसेज रे जो जिंसोडा अछि, जो वर्ड्स उडा अछि, सेबे केबे भी रिपीट करिवनी. दैट वुड बी अ मिस्टेक. मार्क्स 0 मिलिबो. राइट. हमको डिफरेंट वे रे ताकू शॉर्ट फॉर्म रे रिप्रेजेंट करिवार अछि. तो नो रिपीटेशंस. जदि पैसेज रे गोटे जिंस अछि तमे सेही लाइन ताकू रिपीट करिकि तमे समरी रे लिखि देला, यू विल गेट 0 मार्क्स. राइट, यू विल गेट 0 मार्क्स. The summary has to be original and different from the passage that is given to you. Right? For example, मोडे example दोची एठी. एटा गोटे देखो books रूमो आनी थली. Right? एटी गोटे presses दिया है. This is an example. This is a presses. Right? A तारो summarization is this. Right? 51 words रो गोटे presses. This is the one. तुमको दिया जायची ताकू summarize करा जायची within just 2 lines. Right? तो हमको यह करिवार अछि. 51 words is just an example I shared. In exam रे 300 words रा आसीबो. Right? Exam रे 300 words रा आसीबो. So you can read this. गोटे तुमको question दिया गला है, आपको summarize करो. Right? The England of our own days is so strong and the Spain of our own days is so feeble. It is not possible without some of the reflection and care, the comprehend to the full extent of the peril which England had from the power and the ambition of Spain in 16th century. याकू तुमको summarize करियर अछि. ये UPSC level रो गोटे question. Right? Getting my point? One cannot nowadays fully realize what menace Spain was to England in 16th century. This is the precise summary of this passage. Right? ताकू तुमको गोटे छोटो फॉर्मेट रे summarize करिकी दबार अछि. Right? That is the whole task. This is called summarization. Getting my point? I would example दोची. Again, UPSC level ro question. Everyone look. Whether we look at the intrinsic value of a literature or a particular situation of this country, we shall see the strong reasons to think that of a foreign tongue, the English tongue is that which would be the most useful for our narrative subject. The author name is mentioned over here. It is asked to summarize the entire preface, right? So the preface would be Lord Macaulay said that England's noble literature and the university of her language made English the foreign language most useful for India, right? So यार short form करिकी हमको summarize करिकी दबार अछि, right? तो तमे देखिथिबो जेति के भी प्रेसिस राइटिंग होछि, that is all in indirect speech, right? That is all in indirect speech, right? जल्दी मु कहती जोटा तुमको पैसेज दिया जाए तार रिपीटेशन केबे करिवनी, राइट? रेलेवेंस थिबा दरकार पैसेज को पैराग्राफ रे तमे लिखि परिबो समराइजेशन 1 2 3 पैराग्राफ, that would be okay, there is no problem with that, but always remember to have a title at the start, right? Must be joined in such a manner ता भितरे किछि correlation paragraph रखि के without hindrance one should be able to read, right? Gote thought epote gote thought sepote hobani, there should be some link in between the passages, right? Excessive expression on a particular content rakhibani, right? Gote idea ba gote thought process gote passage ru tame dhara gote idea anilo should not be repeated, right? थोरे लिखिदेलो, that's okay, should not be repeated, should be direct and concise. बुले की लिखवार नहीं, grammatically mistake करिवार नहीं, meaningfully mistake करिवार नहीं, आप hazard thought करिवार नहीं, direct and concise we have to represent, right? Now एडी examples केते देछि, please have a look. केमिति हमरो thesis writing हुए UPSC level examination रे, everybody have a thought, right? Aim for restructuring rather than mere elimination, right? Amara total summarization is a paragraph of restructuring. ताकू आमे छोटा format रे restructure करिके answer करूछु, right? So eliminate repetition, examples, figures, speech, literate, right? Literary expressions. ए जिनसोडा को एलिमिनेट कर दबो जदी गोटे पैसेज रे रिपीटेशन अछि, बहुत गोटे आइडिया बा थॉट प्रोसेस रो बहुत रिपीटेशन अछि. फॉर एग्जांपल दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट जियोपॉलिटिक्स विथ सेम एग्जांपल, सेम फिगर, सेम स्पीच. हमको समरी रे सब जिंसो रखिबार नहीं, हमको खाली आइडियाज, राइट, सब आइडियाज ऊपर ही फोकस करिवार अछि. सो ए सब जिंसो एलिमिनेट कर दबो, eliminate all of these, right? तमे precise compressed words use करिवा दरकार, excessive lines, excessive details न लिखि के precise words, right? जेंति मोइडी लिखली compressed words, precise term, right? Alter phrases, alter phrases माने जदी गोटे sentence हमको से कहिछि तार alter way रे तमे ताकू represent करिवा दरकार. तमे सिटी गोटे जिनसे लिखिछि तमे exactly same जिनसे लिखि दबो, you'll get 0, right? तो तारो alter expression कौन हबो तमे जानिबा दरकार, right? किछि example देछि देखो, this is perfect way of summarizing. Sam fell down the well, before help could reach him he drowned, right? This is the sentence which is given. तारो summary कौन हबो, Sam sunk in the well. It is drowned दिया जाइछि, right? तारो alter expression हबो sunk, right? ताकू कहती alter phrase, right? जोटा एठी लिखा जाइथिबो, जो क्वेश्चन ने जोटा लिखा जाइथिबो तारो वेरिएंट phrase को alter phrase कहती, right? तो एग्जाम सेंटेंस पैराग्राफ रे जो सेंटेंस बा वर्ड्स यूज करा जाइछि तार सिनोनिमस वर्ड्स हमको मने रखी के लिखिबार अछि, right? For example, they acted in a manner that rendered them liable to prosecution. They acted illegitimately. That is a summary, right? तुमको गोटे सेंटेंस दिया गला ताकू छोटो करिके तुमको समराइज करिके दबार अछि. That's it. That is the whole task, right? Illegitimately is unlawfully, right? Liable to prosecution ro precise term hela illegitimately, right? So this is called a summary, right? This is called a summary. He was hard up for money and was being pressed by his creditor. He was in financial difficulties, right? This is a summary, right? तमे अल्टर फ्रेज रे लिखिबो छोटो करी लिखिबो that is what called precis writing, right? ठीक है difficult अच्छे आजिरा पेपर but सबुठे important जिंसो till now last precis writing रो last conceptual जिंसो जोटा मु कहया को चाहूची submit करिवा आगरु always revise, right? Compare with the original जेमती देखिबो कि ता सहित पूरा मैच करूनी तार अल्टर एक्सप्रेशन तमे देइछो essential main points और sub points main points sub points और title तमे लिखिछो, right? जो तीनटा जिंस नथिबो then you'll get 0, right? Just the title will get you 35 marks negative. Getting my point? So this is called precis writing. For example, gote UPSC रे आस्थिला this kind of question. Can you summarize this one? याकू 30 to 40 words भितरे summarize करियार अछि. That is the question. It is a question of 50 marks. It is a question of 50 marks, right? This would be of 300 to 400 words. You have to summarize this into 40 to 50 words, right? The entire drill is of 12 minutes. हमको सबु जिंसो 12 minutes भितरे सारीबार अछि. Can be done, right? Can this be done? Can this be done, right? ये बड़ा डिटेल questions UPSC मेंस रे आसीबो. सबुठु difficult paper आजिरो, right? But मु समस्तंगु encourage करिवि to go for UPSC and OPSC leadership position, government job, right? Both powerful job. So हमारा task है to read this 300 to 400 words and write a summary of 40 to 50 words. Can we do this? Right? Samaste bujhigala what is the question? This is a question of 50 marks and this is the task. All clear? Kichi bhi doubt achi, you can ask me now. Yes, kichi bhi doubt achi regarding this, you can ask me now. जेहेतु ये यूपीएससी ओपीएससी लेवल क्वेश्चन तो डिफिकल्ट हबो ही, राइट? बट मु समस्त एनकरेज करिवि कि तुम माने प्रिपेयर रुओ दिस काइंड ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन पाई चेष्टा करो. एनी डाउट ऑन दिस यू कैन आस्क मी नाउ. तो हमर टास्क हैला ये जो पैराग्राफ टा दिया जाय छी, राइट? वी हैव टू summarize within 40 to 50 words. Can we summarize this within 40 to 50 words? That is the question. Karyavo, any doubt regarding precis writing in UPSC mains paper? You can ask me now. किछि भी डाउट थिले पचारो. Can you summarize this in 40 to 50 words? Kari paribo. So I'll hit you with the first one. This is the summary. Just 50 words. This is the summary. Right? So 300 words of passage, we just have to concise that into 50 words. Right? To many people, stamp is merely something, it dekhibo jo examples dechi, jo details dechi, sada sabu ame eliminate kar dechu. Right? We are restricting to the main idea. We are restricting to the sub ideas, and that is called a summary. Right? They regard stamp collecting as a waste of time, effort, and money, but there are many people who love buying stamps and find this hobby worthwhile, more profitable than other leisure pursuits. Collecting stamps helps. It देखिए यार English. जो passage टा दिया जाए तारो English is completely different. The word used here, the word used there are completely different. तारो word writing ro context अलगा अच्छी, but these are दीटांकर tone पूरा समान. जोटी सेठी क्रिटिसिज्म करिसंती ऑथर एठी भी क्रिटिसाइज करा जायछि. जोटी सेठी कॉम्प्लीमेंट करा जायछि एठी भी कॉम्प्लीमेंट करा जायछि. दिस इज कॉल्ड समराइजेशन. आमे टोन को केबे भी चेंज करि परिबानी. राइट? थीम को केबे चेंज करि परिबानी. Countries are always issuing stamps to celebrate important events. It is fascinating. से जो countries USA, Congo, Arab, Sahara सबू all examples are eliminated here. एठी किछि भी एग्जांपल दिया जायनी. सबु को गोटे सेंटेंस रे से ऑथर समराइज करछंती. with countries are always issuing stamps to celebrate important events. It is fascinating to receive letters from distinct countries and discover stamps in old books. A stamp itself has a charm. Stamp shows us geographical and historical pictures, famous people and incidents. These small things contain vast knowledge. Right? So, सेठी जो details रे से जिनसो author कहथिले, for example, independence, allied victory, से सब जिनसो सेतरी summary रे रहिबनी. Summary रे खाली main idea, sub ideas, tones, different narrative, right? Preciseness ही रहिबो. Right? Briefly the summarize karibo, you'll get full marks. Right? Jodi briefly taku summarize karibo, you'll get full marks. Understood kon karibar achi? What is the task? Any doubt on this, you can ask me now. Kichi bhi doubt achi, you can ask me now. Right? The Ajiro paper is very difficult, but jodi seriously prepare karibo, it is not an impossible task. I'm समस्त को encourage करे कि go forward to these leadership jobs, क्योंकि इतने बहुत scope अच्छी, our future भी अच्छी, safe side and good job vacancies are also there, and India also requires talented people. तो किसी भी doubt अच्छी in today's class, आज जो class बहुत difficult class, but ମୁଁ चाहे कि समस्ते विषय भी जानतु, कहीं विषय tutoring करियारे बहुत कम faculty जो असंती. Right? बहुत difficult paper. बहुत लोगों के पाखरे मतलब accurate knowledge नहीं कौन गोटे प्रेसिस रे रहया कथा कौन न रहया कथा. Right? The भूल information students मान को पाखु जाए, से माने भूल भाल करके आसंती. बहुत थोड़ा talented and meritorious students last moment रे reject हे जानते. Right? So always remember. So that's why I made sure कि मु गोटे class on this मु रखे. Last class में essay writing ऊपर रखती. This time I have written about thesis writing. These are mandatory papers in UPSC mains, right? So जो मैंने prepare करूँ for IAS, OPS, OS level examination. So always remember to be in a logical and meaningful order and detailed manner. किसी भी doubt अच्छी तो मैंने मुझे पहुँचा पारो. If you have any doubt on today's class, please ask. In the recent examination of NABARD also, this question were there, right? So you can expect these questions in NABARD, OPSC, and UPSC तो for sure, right? So in tinta examination, you can expect these kind of questions. Kichhi bhi doubt achi, you can ask me now. All clear? Yes, any doubt? You can ask me now. Are we clear? I can understand it difficult achi, but this is important. Yes, any doubt you can ask me now. Right? So are we clear on the question? Are we clear कि हमको कौन करिवार अच्छी? Right? Are we clear कि कौन करिवार नहीं? Right? Go gote question 50 marks रो भी आसी पारे. Right? So this is why it is important. So are we clear on this? Any doubt? पचारो. Are we clear? किसी भी doubt अच्छी? तो मैं पचारी पार. बुझी पारलो? कोटी भी doubt अच्छी पचारो. Difficult question, difficult paper, difficult class. But I'm sure कि तुमने बुझी पारछो. All clear? Now, last class, I took a class on essay writing. Right? Mains paper रे गोटे compulsory paper था essay writing. Right? तो essay writing उपरे पूरा detail मु class करथिली. Right? For example, गोटे essay present भी करथिली. This is a house on fire. Right? को प्रकार examination रे essay questions आसुची. These are the type of essays you have to write in the mains paper. Right? तो तारो गोटे sample भी मु देथिली. Right? Write an essay on this. Suppose this is the day of mains paper and these are the essays you have to write on. Right? You have to restrict yourselves to 300 words. And these are the things you have to write about. Right? So gote particular day you have to write these many essays on a 3 hours test. Right? So aji pai bhi mu kichhi essays aanichi. Please have a look. Aji pai bhi kichhi essays aanichi tom pai. In a 3 hours of event, can you write 300 words each? Right? This is the real test. Right? We have 3 hours. We can use 300 words maximum. And we have to write essays on these. Can we write that? Your ideas of happy life are intellectuals, power of the press, Indian culture, value of yoga, value of tourism, terrorism in India, my idea of administrators, right? On a particular day, UPSC essays eivhaliya asibo, right? UPSC essays eivhaliya asibo. So we have to prepare ourselves to jani partho variety of ideas एतरे लागिबो इन डेप्थ नॉलेज एतरे लागिबो हमर एग्जांपल्स डिटेल्स सब प्रिसाइज हवा दरकार तो को लेवल रो रीडिंग और राइटिंग थिले ही हमें 3 आवर्स स्ट्रेन करि परिबा दैट इज द थिंग राइट इंडिया रो सब टफेस्ट पेपर फॉर द टफेस्ट जॉब जहाँ पे बहुत लोग बहुत वर्ष प्रिपेयर करती राइट सो कैन वी डू दिस कैन बी राइट essays on each for 300 words in 3 hours that is the task right understood kari pariba can you write one essay on any of those can you write one essay on any of those right so essay writing or thesis writing is a mandatory paper it comes in the mains so ta upre mu dita class kali I am sure ki mu clarify karichi ki exam re ko prakar question asibo ଆଉ ଆମକୁ କୋଉ ଭଳିଆ ଆନ୍ସର କରିବାର ଅଛି କଣ ଲେଖିବାର ଅଛି ଆଉ କଣ ଲେଖିବାର ନାହିଁ तो या ଉପରେ କିଛି ବି ଡାଉଟ ଥିବ you can ask I want clarity in your thoughts तो एग्जाम रे गले तमे डरिबो नाही understood କିଛି ବି डाउट ଅଛି पचारो चलो now କିଛି vocabulary questions solve କରିବା let's solve some vocabulary questions today I have a few words let's see how many of you know them first word second word Yes, I have a few words. Every class I share around 20-30 words. Now, how many you know? So, our vocabulary is strong over Dharkar. In all the exams, UPSC ho, banking ho, right? In all exams, vocabulary is the most important part, right? So how many words you know? Yes. Try to answer. Each of them is of 2 marks. Balmy is a weather condition which is pleasant, right? It is a weather condition which is a pleasant weather. जिनती winter रहता है, जिनती rain season रहता है, pleasant weather, right? Furtive is keeping a secret because you're guilty, you're feeling ashamed of something, right? Any other word which you know? Try करो. हमको 20-30 words in every class we have to practice. Average is to make something short, right? To make something short by cutting his pieces, right? Caviar is a behavior which is disdainful. Disdainful as in unpleasant behavior, rude behavior, right? Unpleasant behavior or rude behavior, right? Caviar. Now, can you solve the remaining four? Can you solve the remaining four? Try. Barbell is something which is very noisy, unpleasant. Arcane is very difficult to understand. As because the knowledge is limited to few. Let's just say for Latin, both कम लोग को जानते हैं, that is very difficult to understand, right? So it is arcane. Last two words. Anyone who can tell me? Chastise is to scold someone or rebuke someone, right? Inundation is a dry patch of land, right? So this can be rebuke, scold, reprimand, all can be synonymous of this, right? All can be synonymous of this. Kichi UPSC level vocabulary question solve kariba, right? So I want everyone to be prepared on that level. Take difficult kole examination the surprise hoga nahi. So the question asks, he showed the word here is exemplary, right? You have to find which one is closer in meaning to the one darkened. Our core options are usual, durable. This one is of 4 marks. -1 if you got it wrong. Can you solve this UPSC question? It was UPSC NDA exam. Right? Can you solve this? हमको word exemplary रो closest meaning word काढिबार अछि. ଆମର ଚାରିଟା word ହେଲା usual, durable, commendable and some. Right? Can you solve this? Try करो. 4 marks -1. Now, exemplary is something we can set an example as right. So it is commendable. We can set an example of commendable effort, right? So our closest meaning is commendable. So we get our marks for just clicking the right circle. Got it? So even a question UPSC re asibo. Not very difficult, not that easy as well. How would you kariba? This is the darkened word. Our four options are head, flaunted, obscured. Again, UPSC level question. Engineering services में आस्ते लाइक question try करो. Easy अच्छी. Masked her feelings. So she basically hid her feelings. Right. Or flaunt. Masked her feelings पर. Try again. Right. So mask is to pretend, to hide. Right. So head would be correct. Similarly, how would UPSC level a question, Garima? Very good. You guys are trying. Right. The soldiers repulse the enemy. Again, UPSC level question. Your four repulse is the word. Defeated, destroyed, rejected, repelled. What should be the correct answer? Again, 4 marks minus 1. That easy. Try karo. Right. Repulsive, matlab, to repel. Push backwards. Right. Push backwards. So answer would be D. Right. Repulsive is not defeating. Right. Repulsive is not defeating. Repelling is more correct, more precise. Right? Our UPSC level of question ଅଛି both interesting ଅଛି. Let's see if we can solve this. এটা UPSC ରେ ଆସିଥିଲା. Vendors must have license. Right? So, what is the meaning of vendors here? One who drives a car, right? Two, the one who works in a hospital. Three, the one who is employed in food serving. Or four, one who engaged in selling. Which one is correct? ठीक है, critical अच्छी UPSC level. Vendors must have a license. Right? Vendors किए. Those who are driving a car, workers in a hospital, employed in food serving, also engaged in selling. Which one is correct? Try करो. This is again a UPSC question. Yes. So vendors are not just people who are serving in the food industry or hospital or requiring a car. Those who are engaged in selling. Very good. Good. Superb. Right? Take a difficult killer, but very good. Fantastic. Same spirit. Again, UPSC level question. There was the word is copious, right? Our options are enough, abundant, lots, good. Difficult अच्छी, but try. Yes, try everyone. ସମସ୍ତେ try करो. Again, national level examination. Question is also national level. Now, so copious rain that is of a very large amount, right? So the precise answer would be abundant, which is of a very large amount. Abundant rain, right? Ample rain, abundant, ample. These are all synonymous words, right? In these kind of questions, they all seem the answer, but the closest would be the one which is precise, right? The one which is precise. Again, UPSC level question. Try. This one came in UPSC Engineering Services. The word is ripe, right? Your options are senior, mature, perfect, seasoned. What can be the answer of this? समझते आंसर्स को उठाओ. Right. So the correct answer is perfect. Is the right person. Right means suitable. Right. So perfect person for the job. Right. Perfect person for the job. Again, UPSC level question. ठीक है. Try करो. ठीक है. Easy अच्छी this one. They served fruits after dinner. The word here is served, assisted, obliged, waited, or offered? What can be the answer of this? Easy question, try. Yes, very good. Correct answer. They offered fruits after dinner. Assisted would be wrong. Obliged would be wrong. Offered is correct. Very good. Again, another UPSC level question. This one would be easier. Choose the word here is to trash. Right? Your options are to pin. ठीक है difficult अच्छे. Try करो. To pinch. Right. ठीक है difficult अच्छे. Just trash. TH. To trash someone. Right? To trash someone. कौन हबो? To trash someone. THRASH. Trash. Easy word. Try करो. Yes, to beat up someone. To thrash someone is to beat up someone. Very good. Very good, Aryan. Very good, Subhashri. Right? To beat up someone. Right? Now, again, this one is little difficult. The word is brilliant. You have to find a synonym. First is colorful. dazzling, white, and D would be dark. What is correct? Try करो. Any answer? Right. So brilliant is also something which is dazzling, bright. Right. Something which is dazzling or bright. So last question of the day. Again, last UPSC question of the day. The word is tempestuous. And your options are calm, relaxed, rainy, or stormy. What should be the answer of this? Tempestuous is something which is unfriendly. So the correct answer is stormy. Right? Yes, very good, everyone. Right? So Ajiro class per difficult class thila, but we got to know about a lot of things on a national level. Right? So Ajiro class se kichhi bhi doubt achi, you can ask me now. Right? Last 2 minutes we have before we summarize. So in today's class, we discussed about national level examination. Right? UPSC, OPSC, मेन्स पेपर उपरे हमें बहुत डिस्कस करछे तो मु समस्त एनकरेज करूची टू गो फॉरवर्ड टू दीस काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट तारा प्रोफाइल बहुत स्ट्रांग थाए द जॉब इज अ वेरी गुड जॉब राइट पावरफुल जॉब एंड all of you should go for these kind of exams तो आजिरो एग्जाम रे किछि भी आजिरो क्लास रे किछि भी डाउट अछि पचार. Do you have any doubt on today's class? You can ask me now. Any doubt on today's class, you can ask me now. Namaste Budipalla, what is mains paper and what we have to do in terms of essay writing and thesis writing, right? So kichhi bhi doubt thiba, you can ask me, otherwise I'll wrap up today's class. Any doubt? Kichhi bhi doubt achi pacharo. Otherwise, I'll wrap up today's class. Chalo. Then I'm wrapping up. Thank you, everyone. Both Badat Lazira class. Thank you all. Yes, thank you, everyone. Good class. Thank you, everyone. Yes, good class. Thank you.